Air quality is drastically improving through the day Thursday thanks to some sort of surprise cool air coming in from the northeast. We do have a chance of some rain, which we desperately need as the drought monitor shows drought expanding across Minnesota. So take a look at the air quality last night at about 11 p.m. Some of the worst of it, we were between 240, 270. You wanted it under 50. It was pretty bad, record bad, in fact, for the Twin Cities. And then by this morning, it was already improving drastically. And now as of midday Thursday, we just have a pocket of poor air quality left out around Marshall, thanks to these northeast cool winds flushing out that air. Good air quality across northeastern Minnesota now, and now good to moderate across the Twin Cities. So you really notice the big difference. You can see that gray haze. This is a loop through the morning hours, pushing southwest as this kind of sneaky high pressure is pushing actually some Lake Superior air into even the Twin Cities, and that's why it's cooler today. We probably won't even hit 80 degrees. That high centered across southwestern Ontario, that gives us that northeast wind, pushing the smoke for the time being off to the west and temporarily cooling us off today. But as I've been talking about, as long as things remain hot and dry across the central northern North America, we're going to continue to see on and off smoke issues this whole summer probably. So the forecast today, probably moderate to good conditions, still hanging on to some of that poor air quality in south and southwest Minnesota, but there too, it will improve late today. And this is why it's been improving, as I mentioned, that northeast wind coming across the state today, and that's why the air quality has been moving from northeast to southwest as well. We continue to be in this sort of bizarre backwards flow pattern as we've been for kind of a couple weeks on and off overall. But midday temperatures were still in the 60s and 50s to the north. It will still be hot where they have the smoke too, because that cool air not quite reaching southwestern Minnesota. Some places there will be near 90 today. And this is looking at our smoke model, the vertically integrated smoke, and you can see it continuing to push to the south and west and kind of getting dispersed a bit. And then it will try to move east, so we might have some elevated smoke in the sky aloft tomorrow and at times the next couple of days. But air quality, really difficult to forecast past a day or two, so you kind of got to stay tuned this summer. The other big news is drought expanding across Minnesota. Everything in orange is drought, and now, new today, we have severe drought in a little swath here of central Minnesota from St. Cloud through Malacca and Mora. 19% of Minnesota now in drought, up from 12% last week. And this is from the Weather Service. Looking back at mid-May to mid-June, it was the driest mid-May to mid-June on record in the Twin Cities, going back to 1871, just 26 hundredths of an inch of rain at the airport. But, of course, last Saturday, some spots just a few miles from there saw 1 to 2 inches of rain. So really hit and miss. When we look at the overall 30-day percentage of normal precip, it's pretty bleak. Central Minnesota, some places have seen just 5 to 10% of the normal rain for the last 30 days. We'll see some, especially western Minnesota. There's early Saturday spotty showers. By Saturday evening and overnight, chance of some spotty showers and thunder overnight. And then into Sunday now, looking like the better chance here for eastern Minnesota, but really stressing that this is going to be hit and miss. So like last weekend, if you get hit, you might get over an inch of rain, but most of us will see way less. So the overall forecast, when we kind of look at it big picture, lesser chances of significant measurable rain in the east, but western Minnesota might see a ½ inch to an inch of rain. We'll see how it plays out, but not a drought buster either way. And then it is going to be heating back up. We'll be a little cooler thanks to this disturbance over the weekend, but by Monday, Tuesday, most of next week looks like we're going to be near 90 degrees, and it's going to be a dry pattern again. So if you don't get rain over the weekend, and most of us won't get a lot, it's just going to continue to dry out. So the drought monitor next week will probably continue to expand in Minnesota. So enjoy the little break from the hotter weather and pray for some rain, because it's going to be hot again.